Boys, what happens when you miss a flash sale? I didn't even realize there's going to be a flash sale because I was not really checking anything, but I was able to like do a couple things, and this is kind of your reminder. Anytime flash sales happen, these are the things you need to be doing. Unfortunately, like I said, unfortunately, we weren't around for it. But you saw a bunch of them. Okay, like you maybe you got to open the packs. I didn't. But I was able to like pop in and check some stuff out. The main thing I saw, because, you know, I'm always curious about the cards that I sold, what happens to them. Vlad Guerrero, this card right here, his price got low, like 60K. It was like 60K. He popped back up to 100. Hindsight's 2020, right? You should have bought some. But I was able to snag some stuff here. We see I was buying some of these David Wright captain cards for 17,000. I bought Chapman cheap-ish. We bought a Juan Marichal, and again you see an instant flip there and then a flip on the David Wrights. Now, will they go up in price even more? Maybe, but I can still make 3,000 stubs for each of these. So I bought 12 of them. That's going to be 36,000 stubs plus buying Marichal here. That's, you know, 7,000 stubs. Could have made a lot more stubs if I was, you know, around, but I was just kind of like on my phone out, and I was like, oh man, look what's going on. So that's the thing, right? This is why we want to have stubs saved up every single time. It takes stubs to make stubs. This is a key point right here. And I'm sure there were other cards and other situations where things really dropped. I didn't get a chance to look at all of them, unfortunately. But even if we look at Chapman here, you know, we bought him for, what was it, 85. He's at 99, so we still could have been buying those, and he was actually even cheaper for a little while too. I think I feel like I overpaid for the moment even, which is kind of crazy. So whenever flash sales happen, you want your stub count up so you can flip cards in there as best as possible. So we add Chapman. Well, I told you guys I wanted to add, and then we bought Chris Sale as well, right? I always like Chris Sale's cards. Bam, we'll throw him in there, and then Chapman would take the place of someone in here. I don't know who, right there, and then we'll do this, and we'll do this, and this is fine. I kind of wish I had more reliever spots, but the team is being built up. Now, I still don't know what I want to do with my hitters at all. I don't know. I have no idea. But we're getting close to some of this stuff. Obviously, Tops now drop some new stuff. Flashbacks, captains, more free cards. Cool. We love that. The Incognito series. Again, it's a grind for these cards. You know, it's nice that there's something like this that exists, right? This is nice for them to put in here. And some of these cards are okay, right? Bit of a Nelson Cruz with speed, a little odd, right? And then where is Carlos Santana, when he got a new version of a card, which is arguably worse than his old card. Again, really odd. Like, here's the thing with them giving these program cards, and it's like, it's free cards, it's for the collection, right? So much of this, again, a showdown and a conquest, more just offline playing, and it's like, well, it's to help get the collections done. Well, wouldn't it be nicer if, like, the cards were more usable, right? You give out so many free cards. It's like, oh, it could be on a theme team. Nobody's really running those theme teams, man. It's not the way it is. What it is, it's their way of putting these collections together, right, beforehand, and then realizing they have to fill out the numbers. And the best way for them to fill out the numbers is by giving people free cards. By making you grind offline constantly. It's kind of annoying to me personally, right? I like the combination of offline and online grind. I like to be able to do a bit of both. Sometimes I don't really want to lock in. Sometimes I just want to relax. You get it. Like, I think that's the norm for all of us. However, when they keep basically pointing us to certain ways, if you're not a top tier player, if you're not a 12-0 flawless player, if you're not a World Series player, they're basically just pointing you to a bunch of non-sellable content to finish all this stuff to get more non-sellable collection cards every single time. Now, if these programs, like when we started with the World Baseball Classic program in the beginning of the year, that was really helpful to start out building a team, right? You got some good cards, some 97s up here, which were good, right? And again, this was still this was such a long grind, but to build your team out in the beginning was fine. And then we had the Kaiju program. Again, some decent cards in here. Lau and Renfro, solid cards, right? Solid cards. But again, it's just pushing you to go do these things, right? This is the only thing we had was a repeatable mission. 2,500 PXP for 3 stars. That's a lot, actually. It's a bit much. But as they keep going through and giving us these sort of side programs, yeah, you can get them done. But there's how much of this is here? Like, look at this one. 1,500 PXP, repeatable for 10 stars. 1,500 for 10. 2,500 for 3. There's no consistency in the way that they want you to do this. By them doing this, it just makes it even slower and it forces us into more of an offline grind. I would love to see all of these little programs. You want to just fill up the game with these programs and give us free cards for collections? Go for it, right? I think you should just reduce the number of cards needed for these big collections. But hey, what do I know? It's a little too much, to be honest. But reward everything equally? Like, oh, well, you get more PXP if you play online. Okay. But I still have to go through and do the showdowns and conquests in this stuff. Right? Repeatable, 2,500 for 5. It's never the same. It's not the same. This is 50,000 PXP if you just did it this way. 50,000. That's 10 parallel 5 cards or whatever it is. That's crazy. Oh, well, you can get all this other stuff as you go through. Yes, you can. But again, it's just this constant forcing of stuff for not usable content. If you want to give me this grind, Charisma Series, Mexico, whatever these grinds are, right? Whatever it is, and you want to give me, hey man, at the very end of this, I think I've got a starter on my team. All right, we're talking a bit different here. But I'm not pulling up and I'm not using Tim Jim anywhere. Like, this would be a great card to have. 72 Ks per 9. No. So like, they are clearly trying to do things, and they are clearly not 100% sure the way they want to do these things. I'm not sure if different people are designing these programs and all that. But what you can really see, I don't care about we've already talked about the no-sell Battle Royale, World Series, all this stuff, right? But when it comes to these, like I said, it's just the difference in things. Again, a mission here. There was nothing repeatable in this one, right? But again, like, I'm focusing on this because I think it's important. 1,500 for 10. 1,500 for 10. Okay? It's 2,500 for 5. 2 different numbers. What about this one? What was this one again? 2,500 for 3. Again, it's a different number, right? What about this one? 2,500 for 5. Again, we went from 1,500 PXP to get 10 points, to now 2,500 to go for 3 or 5. It's like they feel like these programs are so much better than they are. They really do. You can tell by them doing that. They are taking things away, which were allowing us to complete programs and stuff faster. They're really doing that. They're taking the speed of things away. making it slower because again, I'm not even going to blame them for this. Okay, this is from a business side of things. The longer someone is on the game, the more likely they are to spend money on the game. They can say all they want, grind 99. It's a business. Y'all trying to sell copies of this game. You're trying to get people to buy stubs. I get it. I fully understand, right? But they are literally trying to make things as slow as possible for us because they want us on the game more and more and more. When you go into a moment and it's pitch 5 innings, that's not a moment. It's not a moment. You know what a moment is? A singular instance. That's a moment in time, you know? These aren't moments, right? And again, even when we go in here, talk about how they just don't have stuff in here. Before, you used to get points for wins. Points for wins. No, no more. You know where you do get points for wins? In here. Why? I don't know. Just make it all different. Just make it all different. It's just, there's no consistency. And that's why I really feel like, are other people not really sure what they're doing here? Look, you don't even get repeatable missions there. You get this one, 15,000 PXP for 10? 15,000? What? This one's 200 for 5. 15,000 for 10. Like, they're going a little too much, man. They're just going a little too far, in my opinion, right? A lot of what makes and has made MLB The Show such a fun game to play and grind out, I feel like they're kind of taking advantage of that a little bit lately. Again, I like the cards. I like the cadence of the content, all that sort of stuff. Cool, it's great, you know. But you're making me play showdowns and conquests constantly. You're making me do that. Don't make me do it. I could do it, but don't make me do it. And why are they making you do it? Again, because adding this 2,500 PXP for 5, that's a lot. It's a lot, you know? It's a lot. You've got to play like 4 online games to get that number. It's crazy. So I just hope that they sort of shore this up. Again, I'm going to take my assumption here that they are just trying different things to feel like what works best, what's going to stick, and they're just not there yet. So be more consistent, find that path, and make things a little bit easier for your players, because I see it. I see players are getting a little frustrated. So you may not see this, but you should. I'm out. Peace.